All right, now I get to say a few words, and I am a person of few words. So that may not be true. First of all, I want to recognize the dignitaries who are here today, except I walked in late, so I don't know who's here today. I would presume that the normal cadre of people who have supported Alan all along, whether they're present or not. We want to thank E. Clay Shaw, the former congressman of Congressional District. There he is. Fort Lauderdale Tea Party the other night because his wife's name is Emily. Okay, but can I finish with him first? Would you like No. It's all the same as the Shaw. Okay, thank you very much. And of course, his wonderful wife, Emily Shaw. I would have gotten to after I couldn't tell you how impressed I was the other night when Congressman Shaw stood up in front of his people and addressed them the way people want to be addressed today. We have come to a time and place where statesmen are few and far between. So when one has been removed from office, we feel the empty spot. We have a chance to fill that very same seat. How blessed are we that Congressman E. Clay Shaw will mentor future Congressman Alan West. Doesn't get any better. I guess he is the leaving chairman of the Broward County Republican Party. He has declared his candidacy for the county commission. Chip Lamarca, is he somewhere? Yeah. I'm not calling you Mr. Chairman anymore. So. And now I don't know if anybody will ever call into my show representing the Broward Republicans, but let's hope they will. The Shark Tank is here. Javier and I thank all the other people who have joined, because really there are no special people in the Alan West campaign. Every single individual, if you talk to Alan, is the most important person in the room at any given moment, because without you, there won't be a successful campaign. You could have the greatest candidate in the world. You could have millions of dollars. But if you don't have a volunteer army that's going to go out there and spread that message one-on-one, explaining to individuals who live in Congressional District 22 why they should vote for Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, this will never happen. People who have run for office like Congressman Shaw, people who have run for office and are about to run for office like Chairman Lamarca, will tell you that it is that individual talking to another individual that leads to someone turning out in a midterm election and placing a vote. It's critical. You've got to become the West Warriors, the Army of Alan West, and that's why you're all dignitaries. When we were sitting here a couple of weeks ago trying to rush out petitions and putting them into the computers, I mean, this place was a madhouse. And there were individuals here, and I can't name each one of you, who spent hours and hours and hours doing something they had never done before, or maybe something they had done before and didn't like doing, but knew had to be done. And I would walk around and I would just, maybe say a few words to people when I was here, and it was incredible. Every one of them was committed. Every one of them knew how important this was. And I just want to tell you, it was an enormous effort on behalf of a lot of people. And you are the heroes today. We thank you for the petition. Now I'm just going to say a few words about Alan West. And you know what? Didn't recognize probably the three most important people in this room right now. And that would be Dr. Angela Graham West, his wife, his daughters Aubrey and Austin, and I'll tell you why they're important. Because if they're not happy, he's not happy. And if he's not happy, there's nothing worse than a grouchy candidate. So don't be at all reluctant to shake their hands and hug them and give them the kind of support. Families go through hell during campaigns. There are all kinds of things that this family is going to have to be dealing with for the next 7 months, whether it's personal attacks because the opponent is a creep, or whether it's just, conversations that are not going to be comfortable for, I had kids and when they went to school, because I was on the radio, people would, say things to them. And they felt helpless because they couldn't respond. And that's going to be true for this family. So we need to support them. If you have time and energy to, make a banana pudding, whatever you think of, keep the family happy. I'm telling you, it's very critical. And I thank you, Angela, and Aubrey, and Austin. As Mary said, it's a true sacrifice. All right, now I'll tell you a little bit about the candidate. This is that moment in history for me. I've lived a long time, and politics is what I do. And I have never in my life found a candidate like this. I have never met a man who embodied the American spirit quite like Colonel Allen West. I don't say this lightly, because right now, you can't just send anybody up to that cesspool, as he describes it. You've got to send somebody up there who doesn't look at that cesspool as a jacuzzi and a pension plan. Those fatigues and boots, as he describes, and puts on that suit and tie, which he is less than comfortable in, but growing ever more cute in.
Please scratch that from the tape.
That he has made a commitment long time ago to this country. He says it has no statute of limitations. He said the oath that he pledged when he entered the United States Army is the same oath that he will uphold in Washington, D.C. And if that's true, he'll be one of the few that even understands that oath, that has ever taken that oath. And that's why he's a special kind of candidate. I'll tell you the other reason he is a remarkable candidate. I've known a lot of people in my life who are bright, who are intuitive, who have leadership qualities, but I've never known anyone who could learn as quickly as Colonel West. If I have said to him on an occasion, we need to read something about tax policy, before I tell him what I think he should read, he's already picked out 5 or 6 or 7 books, documents, and absorbed them and can return information to me, has come to conclusions. I've just never seen anyone so willing to learn. Because he came from the military. They're kind of detached from politics in the military. When you think about it, even voting for the president is questionable, because regardless of who wins, that's your commander-in-chief. So he has been somewhat detached from politics, which makes him the best candidate of all. I first began to talk, and he wanted me to be included in this campaign, the thing that he said to me was, I need to get all the information that I can so that I can come up with clear ideas and strategies for this country. And his exact words to me were, when I get to Washington, I have to hit the ground running. In the first 100 days, I have to propose, co-sponsor, and sponsor legislation. Let me tell you the rest of Congress. When first freshman congressmen, with the exception of maybe some of our heroes, like Congressman Shaw, when they get up there, they spend the first 2 years, and this was told to me in Washington, trying to figure out how to get reelected. They're not leading, they're following. And they don't understand the importance of this moment in history. And so when I tell you, you will be sending the singularly most prepared and ready congressman to Washington, D.C. When you vote for him on November 2nd, and when he takes his oath in January of 2011, you can take that to the bank. I've never endorsed a candidate before I endorsed Allen West. And believe me, I stand by that endorsement, and I've worn this bracelet on my wrist since the first campaign, and now I've made another pledge, because I'm very superstitious. I'm going to wear the hat until he gets elected. Text on your cell phone, Go West, to 777-111. That gives us an opportunity to have a way of communicating with you. Get out the vote, all the things that we need to happen. We need volunteers, we need people who can operate computers, people who can walk precincts, and all the rest of it. And without further